guys, Julia here from Violin Inspiration, and today we are going to speak about 5 reasons you don't get better at violin. So maybe you have been playing the violin for a few years already and you feel like you didn't get the results you thought you would get after this amount of time. So what happened? I listed the 5 most common reasons people don't get results when playing the violin, and let's get started with number 1. Number 1 is, of course, not practicing. This is, of course, the most common reason that people don't improve when they play the violin, because so many people set out to practice but don't actually do it. And you don't have to practice a whole lot to improve, but you do need to do something. So you can start by just practicing 5 minutes a day. And I also posted a 5-minute practice routine on my channel, so you can definitely have a look at that one. And just do 5 minutes a day of really intense, focused practice and you will see results. The second reason is that if you practice, you just play through your songs, but you don't really practice them. So what's the difference between those two? So in the first case scenario, you would just play through the song and not really practice it. Like... whatever, and you're making a lot of mistakes, but you just play on. In the second version, you are practicing really focused and mindful, and you are actually stopping when you hear a mistake. Oh my god, that's out of tune. I need to improve that. So then you would just go back to the beginning and you try to improve the mistake. Okay, now I need to put it a little bit lower because it was too high before. Oh, that's better. Okay. Oh, that's out of tune again. Okay, maybe I need to put it a little bit lower. Let's try. Oh, that's a little bit too low. That's it. Okay, let's try to repeat that for 3 times. So that is how you should go about practicing. You should really be focused on the mistakes you are making, really be critical, listening to yourself, and then improving your mistakes right away and working just on the mistakes. And that brings us to the third reason you're not improving, and that is that you are not really listening to yourself when you practice. So maybe you do stop when you make mistakes, but actually you feel like you're never making mistakes because you don't really learn to listen to yourself. And this is actually something that is super hard in the beginning. In the beginning it's so hard to hear if you are playing in tune, and everybody really struggles with this in the beginning. To hear if you are actually playing in tune, to hear if you are making mistakes. And if you can hear your mistakes and if you feel frustrated because of your mistakes, you already achieved something, because that is something you need to be able to do in order to improve. So if you hear a lot of mistakes, that's actually a good thing. But it might be that you don't hear a lot of mistakes and that you feel frustrated because you feel like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I also know that it doesn't sound good. So when you have that problem, I recommend to you to use a phone and to record yourself. And all the time look back at your recording and check which part didn't sound good and which part do I want to improve and what didn't sound good. Of course, it can be super hard, and you can also get the help of a teacher if you feel like this is something you cannot do on your own. So then in that case, I recommend finding a teacher that will help you to tell you exactly what you need to do in order to improve. The fourth reason why you don't improve is that you don't seek out new challenges every week. So it might be that you just advance to a certain level and you're just playing a lot of fun songs, but you don't really challenge yourself anymore with songs that are super hard and that you really need to practice. So if you are at that level, it might be that you need to ask your teacher or to find on the internet a song that is really challenging you in a specific technique. So maybe you're super good at playing slurs and you can play most film music, but you have a lot of problem using spiccato. So maybe you should search for a song that has spiccato technique so you can actually practice that. The fifth reason that you might not be improving is that you are practicing songs that are way above your level. So actually this can also lead to point number 1, and that means not practicing. Because if you choose songs that are above your level, you might feel severely demotivated. You might feel like, I can never do this. But if you choose songs that are too challenging, you might take months and years to master them, and that feels like, oh my god, I'm taking so much time for just one song. But with some songs, it just takes months to master them for you because you're not at level yet. So maybe you have a song, you practice a very difficult classical song, and you might need to take years in order to master that at your level, and that can be really demotivating. And then I recommend to you to practice shorter and easier songs so you can actually see your results, because you do make results if you practice songs that are way above your level, but it can not feel like that, and it can feel really frustrating, and you might also be practicing one bar for like months and it doesn't sound good anyway. Remember that even professional violin players take months and years to practice the hardest violin pieces, so like violin concertos and so on. So even if you reached a very high level, you still have to practice so much in order to play these pieces correctly. So don't practice pieces that are too hard if you're not ready for that yet, and practice pieces that are in your level, that make you feel like you need to stretch yourself a little bit, but it's not so much of a stretch that you get completely frustrated. So these were the 5 reasons you might not be improving. And did you recognize yourself in any of these reasons? Please post it down in the comments below. And also, if you feel like there's something else that might hinder you from improving, then please also post it in the comments, because it might be really helpful for other people reading them. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like this video if it was useful to you, and also subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more videos like this that will help you to learn the violin online. And now I advise you to go away from YouTube and have a great practice session.